Hi, friend. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Allie, and I'm so grateful that we are spending this precious time together. I really hope you're doing well. How are you? Are you doing well? The energy lately feels chaotic, and I feel as though that word is an understatement. But the energy feels thick is a word I would say, and just, there's a lot going on. Good and bad, I would say. And I feel this on a collective level as well as personally. So I have a feeling if you're here, you're probably feeling it too. And I have no idea what Spirit's going to bring through in this reading. But I've already prayed and meditated over it. And I trust that if you feel called to sit here with me and take in this message from Spirit, that there is a message for you here. So let's just jump right in. I've been really called to use this Dreamscape Oracle lately, and as I've said in previous readings, I am very unfamiliar with it. It's not one that I have used much, so I will be reading from the guidebook from that to gain better perspective as well as using my own intuition. But Spirit, I'd like to start with getting a card, the overall energy that you want to talk about in this reading for whoever finds it, please and thank you. What is the overall energy for this reading? Whew. Wow. Did you see how hard and fast that came out? Balance. Fascinating. With octopus at the bottom of the deck. Let's take a closer look here. Look at this mudra this person is doing. I like the galaxy. It's also very interesting with the ram horns. They have a very serious look on their face. Pretty sure that's a mudra. Very interesting. I'm trying to decide if I want to read from the guidebook yet or not. But I feel kind of like getting a couple tarot and then we'll read from that. So we will put our balance card here. They said look at the bottom and look at that. Balance, Two of Pentacles. Okay, so can we get some more messages here for this reading, please? Thank you. We have King of Wands, and you know what? I'm feeling that too. More clarity for this reading, please, Spirit. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, Nine of Wands reversed would speak to interesting. Judgment came out with what I believe is the Two of Pentacles right behind it. And Ten of Cups, or Two of Cups. And then we have Four of Wands at the bottom. I'm one of those people, when I see the Four of Wands, I get filled with a feeling of glee. Four of Wands, can be about marriages, celebration, something where the community is coming together to feel joy and appreciation for something that brings people happiness, whether that is a marriage or a new endeavor somebody's taking on. And then finally we have Six of Cups. Okay. It's interesting. They want these up here. There's always a reason for the way they have me lay out cards. And we'll find out what that means here. So balance. I initially want to say, where are you feeling imbalance in your life? I just saw the Hermit peeking out there as I said that. Yeah. Where are you feeling imbalance in your own life that could be prohibiting you from experiencing the joy of the Four of Wands? I think this is a very personal thing. I think it would be very personal for each and every person listening. Where are you feeling imbalance? Let's look at the balance card and just go ahead and read that in Octopus. I already have a little bit of an idea, but I want to ensure that we're on the right track. So balance is number 39. That could be a significant number for someone. Could be an age. I even heard, or a street address. I just heard that. Interesting. So the idea of a binary is a human concept. We contain both one and another inside our genetic makeup. Balance sits outside of this duality. They follow their vibration, their own story. They can often be positive, revealing the good that sits inside us all. They can also be gloomy as they give into the dark emotions that lie feral, waiting to attack. Balance sits somewhere in between. They know what it is like to carry both sides. Balance blends the best and the worst, presenting us all a new opportunity to experience the whole of creation. Look for the positive in the negative. Temper your emotions. Okay, so this is wild because I said this in another reading. I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before. And when I was looking at this balance card and the Judgment and the Two of Cups and talking about like where might you have an imbalance in your life that's prohibiting you from that Four of Wands energy, I was reminded of what I heard another content creator say a few days ago that just really spoke to me. And she said, I wish I could remember. It was like one of those scrolling things. So I don't know who this was. If you happen to know what I'm talking about, please tag them or let me know so I can give them credit, because this is not my idea. She said, the only thing that we have control over in this existence is how we treat every circumstance in our life, how our mood, basically our mood, our perception. That's the only thing that we can control. And she said she likes to remind herself in these situations when it feels like a bad day or things are not going her way, that she is a thermostat and not a thermometer, because the thermostat stays steady and keeps the temperature steady, even when it might be cold outside or hot outside, to keep things comfortable and steady. And a thermometer is constantly going with whatever way the temperature is going. And it really spoke to me. And that was the feeling that I was getting when I was looking at this. And then the book talks about dark emotions that lie feral, waiting to attack, positive emotions, gloomy, good. Balance blends the best and the worst, presenting us all a new opportunity to experience the whole of creation. I mean, I feel like the more I grow in my own journey, I realize that there are really just a couple very simple truths to being a human, and we humans complicate things because it's in our nature to complicate them. One truth that I have come to believe is in unconditional love. And I mean true unconditional love. And let me tell you, for myself as a Scorpio sun, this is something that I have struggled with. Now, having children has helped me immensely because, well, first of all, I mean, I don't know why I'm getting so personal. It's pertinent to what we're talking about, and maybe somebody out there can relate. So if you're still here, you must care, and I'm just going to stop worrying about whether I'm interjecting myself too much into the reading, because it has a point. I have mentioned before that I grew up in a very strict Southern Baptist home. I mean, it was Sunday morning, Sunday night, Wednesday, and if there was some kind of potluck or anything in between, it was Southern Baptist church all the time. And at home, it was a very devout Christian family, okay? in Missouri. So, okay, my point being here was, unfortunately, I'm not saying this about all Christians, but in the place that I grew up in, the God that we were told to worship, that we had to worship, it didn't really talk about unconditional love. It said God loves you unconditionally, but then there were all these conditions you had to meet, or else you're banished, to, I don't know. I'm trying to be careful with what I say on YouTube because they will flag things. But you know what I'm saying? Like if you didn't believe this way and do these things, and if you messed up or if you did XYZ, you were banished to this place for eternity. This horrifying place. And so it was very confusing for me. And there, I could go on and on about my own past and all the things in my personal life that contributed to this idea that love is conditional. We can say it's unconditional, but it's actually conditional, And then having children was like, oh, wow, unconditional love really does exist. And it's so not what I thought it was, And even then, I still, not with my children, but just in different aspects of my life, being a Scorpio sun, I can cut people off. I'm telling you some shadow stuff about me. If someone were to cross me or harm me or do something like that, it kind of doesn't matter our history or how much I loved you or whatever. I have this, I cut you off kind of a thing. And sometimes that's necessary, but there's been many times in my life where I have just gone way too far with that. Anyway, unconditional love is one of those things. Forgive me for my tangent. I swear it's pertinent to the reading. And another truth that I have found that is one of very few things that are important to human beings is being able to balance our emotions at any given time, knowing that we have no control over anything in this world except for how we perceive any situation at any given time, and then how we react to that. We do have control over that. This is essentially what I'm getting from this is, where is there an imbalance in your own life? Because we're talking about my personal imbalances, and maybe you share some of these, or maybe you have something of your own that I haven't mentioned that is prohibiting you from existing in that Four of Wands energy. And Spirit's giving me a really challenging thing right now, which is saying, how can you feel gloomy and down and out and like the world might possibly be closing in on you, and find your Four of Wands joy anyway? That is insanely hard. I struggle with this immensely. And they are so strongly reminding me of, I don't have the book in front of me. Yes, I do. Please bear with me. Let me grab this because it's important. Okay. The I Ching. So there was a Taoist master, Alfred Huang. I'm probably saying his name wrong. He was basically imprisoned for, 20, 30, 40 years or something, like half of his life, in a Chinese prison, I believe. And he spoke about how he was able to find joy and contentment and peace in the prison, essentially because he was inside, he had control over his mind, his mood, his perception of things, and how no one could take that away from him. And he got through that time stronger, more resilient, but most importantly at peace, because he mastered his own mind, his own thoughts, his own perception of his own reality. Sorry, that was a long roundabout way for me to tell you the story. I wish I could remember the details because it's an incredible story. So if you feel called, I would really encourage you to look him up in his personal story. And so I think there's a lot of things kind of digging into the cards and the reading itself here. I think there's a lot of things from your past that have just felt like a constant uphill battle that's never ending, that you're constantly working at, you're constantly going uphill. It is constantly a struggle. When is it ever not going to be a struggle? Partnerships have come and gone, business, friendship, romantic, all kinds of connections have come and gone. Situations that you've gotten hopes up on. I mean, there's just this whole, like this 6 of Cups here feels so full, like a lifetime of challenging experiences. And I don't think it's only been challenging, but I feel like there's a lot of it that has helped contribute to an imbalance in your perception that Spirit's wanting you to just look at. As I say that, this candle goes out. Because I think whether you're fully conscious of it or not, you've kind of held this flame in the cavern of your soul that says, I was here. I've been through it. The battle is part of who I am. And can we shift that perception to one that says these battle scars that I have helped lead me to my calling to unite all these parts of myself so that I may be healed and help heal others? Can we put out the flame of, I am a battle-worn person, and yes, I'm resilient, but I'm also sick of being resilient. Like, can we frame this in a different way? I think this will make all the difference. I hope this reading is making sense for you. If you're still here, I send you my warmest regards for sticking with me at this point. But I really do think that the message here is, can you try to reframe or rather take a little more control over your thoughts about who you are, how you're showing up in the world, what you're here to do, how you communicate with yourself primarily and others. Because I really think, part of your calling is going to be directly connected to this 10 of Cups energy. I mean, ultimate fulfillment. What you're being called here to do might be some one-on-one healing with individuals. Personal sessions. Maybe, someone might need to hear that. But this connection that I have to say it because it keeps being brought up. Eckhart Tolle keeps being brought up into my mind because he is one of my favorite teachers. He taught me, I don't know, almost 7 years ago now, when I came across his teaching of the pain body. And here we have, this is kind of what we're talking about, right? Holding this torch for all these things that we've endured and we're still enduring and we're tired and, how much more is going to happen? You're just ready for battle, kind of. Even though I think you're you've done a lot of healing, you're a very healed person, but it's kind of like, but through each healing and through each level you get through, you're still carrying that torch of like, look where I've been. We're not forgetting that, because it's a self-preservation tool right? If we don't forget the pain, then we're more apt to be mindful and see flags up ahead that keep that from happening to us in the future. But reality says there's always situations, no matter how prepared you are, how many things have happened, where life, is very Uranian and someone pulls the rug out from under us, or some crazy thing happens that we weren't anticipating, because this is life. This is what it's about. Those things are going to happen, no matter how healed you are. Is it worth it to carry that torch or keep the temperature hot enough that we're always aware? But with the pain body, that's not us. Actually, that's like judgments that have been placed on us, judgments we've put on ourselves, hurts that we're still carrying. And Eckhart Tolle talks about how can we love and heal that pain body so it's not ruling everything all the time. And that, I think, is exactly what they're talking about with the balance card, is healing that aspect of ourselves where we are more of a thermostat than a thermometer. I'm being called to read the octopus because that was significant too. So let me look that up real quick. Octopus is number 61. All right. The meanings of the octopus card: time to prioritize and get things done. Patience and intellect lead you to success. Interesting. The octopus is a highly intelligent invertebrate whose skin contains chromatophores, which allows the octopus to adapt to any situation. They are a symbol of multitasking due to the actions all their limbs can handle at once. If the octopus is coming to your life, it may be time for you to juggle all the tasks you have going on right now. Make a list, set some priorities, and get at it. The ability to camouflage themselves allows them to slip under the radar and wait for their desires. You can call upon the octopus energy to help you wait until the right moment to get what you want. I do see here something that you want to create, maybe collaborate on, work on, put out into the world. And it may be a healing modality, or it may be something like that, one-on-one connections, helping people move through things. And I don't think you'd still be listening to this if you weren't someone who was actively and willingly ready to, is there more shadow work? Okay. I feel like that's never ending, but that's kind of what they're talking about here. How can we shift our perception? It's like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm making a list of things I need to work on. I'm going to be patient as I work on them until the right person or situation comes along, until I'm really ready for this plan to be put into action. But for now, I'm taking actionable steps to work on this thing that's maybe been a little imbalance in my life, so I can be the best version of me moving forward in all aspects. Career, this healing thing. This is real pertinent for someone because it keeps coming up. Some way that you might work with others, help others heal, So you're going to get to this ultimate level of fulfillment. It's not going to feel so challenging anymore. But the biggest thing, I think, to overcome here is this balance energy. I really do. Putting to bed some things from the past for good. And we're getting ready to come up on a new moon in Taurus. In fact, it might be, by the time this video comes out, be the new moon. So that gives us about 2 weeks before the next full moon, which is a blue moon. I believe, I might be wrong, but I believe it's going to be a blue moon in Sagittarius. So I would sincerely kind of put in that work maybe set up some kind of releasing ritual or healing ritual, feels like a better thing to say, for that special blue moon in Sagittarius at the end of the month of May. If you're listening to this at another date, I would just, when is the next full moon for you? And do that then. But some kind of healing ritual around this. Some work around this. I think that would be really good. Let's just see. And they said, remember what the goal is. When I looked at the Four of Wands here, remember what the goal is. It is to feel this joyful. It reminds me of how I felt on my wedding day. I was so full of joy. It felt like the world was my oyster. I didn't have a care in the world. It was one of the happiest days of my life. And every time I look at the Four of Wands, I feel that. And what they're saying is we can have that feeling now. It doesn't have to be our wedding day. It doesn't have to be the very best day of our life. We're capable, just like with Alfred Huang. I'm so sorry, I don't know how to pronounce his name. How he was in prison for all those years, and he probably was able to feel this. Even amidst his struggle, he was able to feel happy, at peace, excited, like the world was his oyster still. You can have that now, they're saying. Remember what this is about. Yeah, releasing the struggle. That's exactly what we're talking about. Releasing the conflict, the competition, the struggle. We're letting it go. Anything else? I mean, that is exactly what we're talking about, Spirit. Thank you. Oh, I like this. I like this Knight of Cups because, it's talking about having empathy for yourself, moving forward, ever moving forward. And that the offers you desire will come with this work. You've done so much already. There's no negating that. Yeah, putting something to rest for good. Just like the candle going out. It's the same message over and over. Let's get you some angel numbers because I'm feeling it. Let's see. What else, Spirit? What else can you give all those who are still here at the end of the reading? To put a cap on this reading for them, Spirit. Final messages, angel numbers for those who are still here for this reading. Ooh, oh my Lanta. Look at that. 55. I am evolving. I haven't seen the one underneath it yet. We'll be surprised together. I mean, this is what we're talking about. You are evolving. Change and offers will come as you work through this. It says substantial change is in your future. Embrace the change, a need to overcome your insecurities and let go of your fears. Yeah, because that's what this is, isn't it? When we're holding that torch of all the pain and all the things that we've had to overcome, it's a fear. It's keeping the light on a fear that those things might happen again. And we don't have control over things like that. We just don't. As hard as that is, we don't have control over things like that, but we can master how we react and our temperature at any given situation. You're changing. I mean, this is heavy, powerful stuff. This is not stuff people are doing on their first shadow work journey. This is you're down the road a ways. All right. An 8. I am successful. This is what we were talking about. This success, these things you want to create are going to come on the other side of this. It says your talent for setting and reaching goals is like no other. That's the octopus, and the octopus has 8 legs. Okay. You are self-sufficient and capable of achieving your ambitions. representing the ebb and flow, the infinite loop of creation. I mean, so octopus is very significant for you. Octopi, I don't know if that's correct, but they're very intelligent. They're like super intelligent. They can get themselves out of almost any like situation. They can open jars. They can get through incredibly small spaces. They can get through mazes. Like, you are that person. And so if it feels scary to do this work around releasing this desire to be like, very 9 of Wands, ready, I'm ready to fight. I'm exhausted, but I can do it. I can do it because I've done it before. Like, yeah, you've done it. Yeah, you can do it. But you don't have to live there. You don't have to carry that with you into every situation. And maybe you're not even fully conscious that you're doing that. But, this reading is telling us that we are. You are successful, and you're meant to do these things, and you're meant to live in this 10 of Cups, 4 of Wands energy. You are evolving. This is a reading for someone who is not afraid of doing the work because you enjoy evolving. You can see that there is goodness. You can see the goodness in evolving, This isn't one of those like clickbait readings of your ex is coming back in 6 weeks. Like, this is stuff people actively go their entire lives avoiding to look at. But you're not like that. That's why I feel that you're going to and already play such a significant role in helping people heal themselves. Because I do think there is something to this theory that planet Earth is waking up, that humans on planet Earth are waking up, that we are all evolving, that times are changing quickly and immensely. I think Uranus and Gemini is going to be a doozy for the growth that we're going to see in things like this. And Spirit and your higher self need you to be at the ready in a very balanced way, because you're going to be needed to help a lot of people work through their own stuff. And you'll have already been essentially at the finish line. Is there ever a finish line? But you know what I mean. You're going to be in a position to truly help people get there themselves. So I think this is the reading. Thank you so much for spending your precious time with me, for trusting me with this reading from Spirit, and for the incredible work that you're doing on yourself and for the collective of humanity on planet Earth. I feel very honored to read for you, and I am grateful if you're still here, because I know this isn't an easy reading to sit through. But that's what we have for you. If this resonated for you, I would love to hear how. Please like, share, or subscribe. Hype the video if you feel called. If you'd like to work with me in any way, you can find all that information at my website at theseaowl.com. I don't know where I went there for a second. It's also in the description box below. And more than anything, especially as you navigate releasing some of this heavier, older baggage that you don't need to carry around anymore, please take excellent care of yourself. And I will see you soon, my friend. Bye.